go.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 125 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we're joined by a hack. Oh wait, that says someone who's been hacked, who taught us you can incorporate family into your woodworking. He's taught us how to do incredible work with everything from intro level to pro level tools, and one of the nicest and most helpful guys in the community. The amazing Casey Reeves is here, the real one.
Yeah, not that fake Casey Reeves that's been going around the internet trying to sell you.
Not the 11 underscored period C Reeves.
Yeah, 11 underscored period. And he keeps trying to sell you insurance for your cat. What the heck is that about?
Bitcoin.
Promoted on.
As our hype man Pete said, Casey Reeves is joining us today. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. And now that that's over with, and Pete's beautiful dulcet tones told us about what they have to say, or want us to say. Would like you to know. Have said it did. Big thanks to the sponsors. You guys are great. I wanted to thank our patrons. Those guys are really dope. We really appreciate them. We do have a new patron. I did 100% forget to bring up the website, so I'm doing it right now. And I'd like to thank Jimmy Hester for joining us as a new patron of the show. So you're really awesome. And there's no name. It's just Avenger 429.
Well, Jimmy Hester, I think he used to be the return guy for the Atlanta Falcons or the Bears. Yeah, the Bears. Yeah.
And then an Avenger.
Cool.
Bears.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of those NFL teams. Of course, Casey knows it was the Bears.
Kick it to Hester.
The Bears.
Because sports, I get it.
Big thanks to them. We really appreciate that. I believe actually Jimmy Hester was mentioned last week, but he gets a double mention. So big thanks to Jimmy Hester.
I mean, he's a Bear.
So.
Hey, that goes to show everyone, you should become a patron. You might get double mentioned.
You get double mentions. It's well worth the money.
There's
I
a
mean,
chance.
you're basically, you'll probably, get mentioned on Good Morning America.
You help us keep the blur machines going. We clearly didn't make enough this month, so my background's not blurred.
We couldn't afford the Zoom blur background for Pete this month. It was only for me and Dan. Yeah,
can only afford two.
We can only afford two, and guests never get a blurred background.
Yeah.
Not on my watch. No. Anyway, as Pete was saying, Casey's joined us. Casey, Pete has a question to ask you, and it's a really important one.
I'm listening.
What time is it where you are?
Right now, it is.
Threw me for a loop.
Casey, tell the people who the heck you are and why you're important and why we love you. Go.
Ooh, okay. So, C Reeves Makes, the real Casey Reeves. I started out like a lot of us do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I started out like everybody, right? We buy a house, we got to do some stuff, we got to build some things and make.
You're too cheap to buy furniture,
and I don't want to go to IKEA or Target and buy bookshelves, so I'm going to start making my own stuff. And from there, it spawned into. I was doing some Facebook videos, actually, just throwing like 3 or 4 minute
What
montage.
year was this?
You're older than I thought.
2015. This is 2015. So I just started throwing little montage videos on Facebook, and friends were like, you should start a YouTube channel. And so I threw together a little YouTube channel and started that. And next thing I know, I found Instagram, and I'm like, well, I could kind of merge these two things together. I'm shooting the content. I'm taking all kinds of pictures anyway. So I just blended the two, and I got to where I'm
perfect marriage
today. I guess. Well, I can't say today. I got to where I was at 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, we'll jump more into that.
We'll get there
after we get to this stuff. I mean, you had a really bummer hiccup. We talked about it, I guess, 2 weeks ago.
I mean, we talked about it as it was unfolding.
Casey was
so we'll go into that
on Instagram. We're kind of alluding to it. But
I don't know why we're alluding to it.
Yeah,
good point, Pete.
He's going to talk about it after we get through the questions, because we do want to hear the entire story.
Yeah, for sure. We want to deep dive that. I really want to hear obviously everything you're comfortable with giving up, but we want to know what that process looks like, how that goes down, so people can keep an eye out for that stuff and know that's a huge bummer. That's a lot of time and effort and work you put into that, and it's scary.
And it's rampant on social media.
Big
those
time.
Scammers that are trying to grab your account. So
yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
yep. It's really no good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. No. You're our guest. We're not going to get you a blurred background, but you talk whenever you like.
But gotcha. So yeah, basically that's me in a nutshell.
No, this is me in a nutshell.
I was a mechanical
I get
engineer.
It. You're stuck. You can't get out, Dan. It's great.
How did I get in this bloody nutshell?
So basically, I was a mechanical engineer for 15 years and always loved to just tear things apart and build stuff and work on things with my hands. So when I was doing mechanical engineering, it was like the stresses of tight tolerances and high precision they got to be a little old. So like coming home and working in the wood shop, sanding it to fit and cutting it to fit and all that stuff was kind of a really nice therapy. And I just kept spending a lot of time out here just hanging out and building some cool stuff. And people liked it. So I just kept doing it. So that's where I'm at now.
Story as old as time.
Yeah, built a heck of a community behind you. I mean, you've been on YouTube for what, 5 years, 6 years?
6 years, yeah.
6 years?
6 years,
yeah.
Yep.
And around the same time for Instagram or?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, give or take a few months in between. I was on Facebook just as like the normal, like friends with everybody and went to school with this person kind of guy. And then when I started sharing the content stuff, I was just getting a lot of positive feedback, thumbs up and, hey, that looks awesome. And the generic, canned responses. And then I just saw that one night. I did a video I built, people might not even remember this, but Her Tool Belt is a channel that I found actually through just the website.
Is that the name of the channel? Her Tool Belt?
Her Tool Belt. And she had
built. What's the guy's name that runs that?
It's actually Amy. It's actually Amy. Yeah. These days you never know. So basically, she had made a TIE Fighter wall shelf unit for her child.
Sick.
And it looked awesome. And I'm like, that's pretty basic. It's all one by. I can buy some select pine and throw some angles and pocket holes in it. And I had the cheapest little table saw and the basic tools and everything and a Craig jig. And I just started throwing it all together. And
all you need, baby.
I made a video for my son. It was more for like our own entertainment, like to do like the time lapse stuff and put, Star Wars music behind it. And it's like, yeah, let's throw it on Facebook and share it with everybody so they can see what we're doing. And then somebody was like, yeah, just put that on YouTube. And I'm like, I had been on YouTube following guys, but I was more like in the guitar building realm. I was watching a lot of guys making guitars, making bodies, making necks, like hand shaping everything, and just captivated by that. That's one of my goals eventually, is to make my own guitar. But I have found Jay Bates in the meantime, and Jimmy DiResta and all those guys. I'd actually found DiResta's AK-47 gun video when he made that AK-47 guitar. And I just started like following all these guys and seeing what they're doing. And I just found this ability to like bring it into my shop and build some cool stuff, tables and benches and whatnot for myself. And next thing I know, I'm kind of like in the same kind of realm, this community of everybody with like-minded people that just want to build cool stuff for themselves and for customers. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. It's it's a very similar, a lot of people have very similar stories to how they get to this place, but it's really cool hearing all the different details because they're not exactly. I mean, the overarching story is I got into this thing and then I saw other people like this thing too, and I learned more about this thing, and now I'm addicted to crack. And it's like totally like it's almost the same thing. Like everyone's like, how'd you know that about me? No, it's really cool. Like you're in like the specifics. That's the best part about having people on the podcast.
And the other thing is like I think one thing that we haven't really talked about is that like this isn't like a full-time business for you. This isn't even like you're a full-time content creator or whatever. Like your dad, you were a stay-at-home dad, jokingly a trophy wife, as they called you. But like you did that for a while. You worked.
He's a trophy dad.
You're back to working now. And like, you're very much like you're living a life, and into it, you still continue to fit in the woodworking, the projects, because correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't actually do a lot of commissions. A lot of it is projects for you and your family, and
it's a lot. Yeah, correct. I only really take on commissions in the fall season when I'm trying to get rid of wood. Like I just start making cutting boards, and because I know they're going to go, and that's the goal is to get rid of as much wood as I can, because once it gets really bad out here, I would like to be able to at least fit my wife's van in the shop when I need to, because a foot of snow and 20 below zero, it's not
Can you
pleasant.
do that with a saw stop now?
Yeah. I can still fit everything. That's like one of my best videos on Instagram at the time, was the time lapse of me setting my shop up to squeeze 2 cars in, and then
I remember that.
Yeah, so it all fits. Everything's on wheels, and I have a plan for it, so it works.
Nice.
I remember when I could still put cars in my garage.
I know, it's kind of like
it's been a long time.
I don't really even refer to it as a garage. I call it a shop that houses cars eventually from time to time. But it is what it is. I still do like my own oil changes in here. I do brake jobs in here, so I can adapt pretty quickly to what I need to do.
It's a workshop. It's a ever evolving workshop.
Exactly. And that's the thing. People are like, when are you going to be done? It's never done. It's always got a dot at the end. Right.
Do you ever get the question of like, oh, when are you going full time? Or like, when are you like,
oh yeah,
going to go full business? And that's the reason I asked the question, is because I feel like there is this unspoken pressure to go full time or to start a business. Like we've all started out kind of just doing it on the side, and it's grown into something. But like there is that pressure of doing it, and you're killing it, and you're just living your life.
To me, it's really family and life first. And especially this last year. So kind of what has put me, and maybe the people that followed along for a long duration of time noticed some of this. I'm not posting every day at the same time. I'm not even posting every day. There are some weekends where I'm hardly on Instagram, because this last year, and this isn't anything like with the pandemic or anything. This is like my life at this point. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I have a 13, his birthday was this last week. 13-year-old son. So both kids now are teenagers, and my daughter has been talking about college visits.
Oh my goodness.
So all of a sudden, like this, like reality of in a few years, she's going to be gone. And then in another few years after that, he's going to be gone. And then it's going to be my wife and I, and we're going to have all the time in the world to do what we want, because the kids are going to be self-sustaining, hopefully, and out on their own. You get them to 18 and you hopefully push them off the cliff and they fly away and take off, and
they just fall, and you're like,
sorry, bad parenting. Yeah, no, it's it hit me that like I need to spend a lot of time with my kids. Not that I haven't in the past, but I don't want to miss out on these great things that they're doing. My daughter's in marching band. She's doing competitions. She's going all over the place with the potential to even go out of state and even further. So
that's a lot of marching to get out of state.
It's a lot of marching, a lot and precision marching. Like these kids are incredible.
One wrong step and you're in Albuquerque.
Oh,
I think they call them long haulers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, it just kind of hit me like I need to restructure my focus a little bit, but still maintain what I'm doing out here. So I don't post, like I don't fill post times or post windows with like just B-roll. I have a lot of B-roll content, but I also don't want to be like, yeah, he kind of posted about that video last week. Like, why is he doing it again? So I don't regurgitate a lot of stuff. I do on Throwback Thursdays, but I only really post what's going on. I don't get into a schedule or anything like that. It's really just what's happening in my life right now and what am I building. So that's always been my mentality.
Speaking of what you're building right now.
Speaking of what you're building.
Oh,
what's on your bench? But hold on. Don't even tell me. Don't even tell me until you hear this.
Listen.
What's on my bench?
Oh, there it is. So what is on your bench?
Actually, so right now it's so big that it's not on my bench. It's on the floor next to me here.
You also making doors and beams?
Being that, it's beams that don't fit quite right. No,
hey.
Whoa!
It's over the bow,
right across the bow.
So, no,
I was going to be very nice and respectful, but that's off the table now.
Out the window.
Sorry, Dan. Casey's Pizza.
That's great.
Go. Yeah. No.
So on brand.
So, that's going to be my next Instagram handle. It's going to to be, Casey _pizza.
Pizzas / wood stuffs.
Yeah.
Casey wood stuffs.
So it's a great segue actually, because talking about my daughter and music and marching band and everything, the band that she's in right now at the high school, they get a lot of volunteer help. So a lot of the parents of the time, when their kids go through the duration of marching band, they help out. They do whatever they can with the boosters group and everything to bring stuff to the kids to help them do the best they can. And at some point there was a cart made for the band that I should take a picture of it and share it with you guys just so you guys can see it. But it has rail and style 2x4s with 3/4 plywood dadoed into the 2x4s with rabbet joints for all the rail and styles. So like a legitimate cabinet door, but made out of 2x4s and 3/4 plywood. So, and that is all of the panels on this cart. So it's like moving an old horse buggy, and it has 4 swivel casters on it. So it is so heavy and so janky that the casters just want to go whichever way they want to go. And these poor kids have to manage this cart all the time. And it has their amps in it. It has their mixing board in it. It has all of their cables.
So nothing cheap.
Nothing cheap. All of the expensive like stuff that better work every time they plug it in kind of stuff. So another dad and I are actually knocking out a new sound cart for them. He bought a nice heavy duty U-line cart with like a wagon handle basically on it. It's got like a 2,000 or 3,000 pound load capacity on it. It's super heavy duty, but we're making a basic 3/4 plywood structure for it to fit all the equipment with nice hinge doors, and everything folds down. They pull some latches and they can quick get everything set up, because these kids have 5 minutes to get on the field, get all of their props set up, and then get ready to start their show.
So they shouldn't be fighting a cart.
Exactly. Yeah. So basically we want to make it easy and have something that can carry on for these kids to have for the next few years. It's got to be roadworthy. It's got to be heavy duty. So that's what's on my bench right now. We're just knocking that out. Basic carcass construction and working with them as to what needs to fit where and how can we do it so it's nice and easy for the kids to manage this thing. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Cool project, man. That sounds like a fun one, just because it's like, well, and it's for the kids.
Yeah,
not like not some customer banging down your door.
Right. Yeah. I don't like the color. I don't like it's not as big as I thought it would. Yeah.
I think that's really.
I think that was my wife.
A nice thing to be able to get involved in your kids, schooling or even with the community, and just be like, hey, like I can build it. Like pay for material or even donate the material and be like, hey, like let's improve this.
And that's the thing. Like we paid for all this material. I'm putting my time to it. I've obviously got the space to do it in, and so this dad that came over to help, he's like, wow, you weren't kidding, like you're pretty capable. And I'm like, it's part of
I'm what Casey Reeves.
Right.
You know who I am?
Right.
I mean, don't check that account.
Right.
Check
Yeah.
the other one.
Up to 2 weeks ago I was somebody.
Look at the followers.
Yeah. No, well, and that's so another little thing that was on the bench up to a week ago was we were also knocking out earrings and ornaments for the band. So I basically was making on the laser, just cutting out musical instrument shapes and making them into earrings, and then also made a larger size for people that didn't want earrings. They could buy an ornament, and then personalizing them for their kid and what instrument they played, if they were captain or whatever. So, and then we sold those on an Etsy sale to all the parents and grandparents and all that stuff. And all that money, I took a third of it for materials and my time, and the rest of it went to the band.
Nice.
Very cool.
Help them out.
Very respectable.
Yeah.
Pete.
That's awesome.
Pete, what about you, dude?
I was just typing.
Go
to Dan. Go to Dan.
Daniel Dunlap.
What makes you think I'm ready for this? I'm not ready for this.
All right, in that case, throw it to
Dan.
I
can go. Actually, for the last several weeks, even months, I feel like you could say that my standard go-to answer has been Etsy. But actually, Etsy hasn't been that busy for me. I mean, I have a lot of orders in my queue, but I've been neglecting them a little bit, which is really bad. You shouldn't do that. But I've been really trying to hunker down and get done with some of these client builds that I got. And luckily, I have a little shop help lately, so it's been a lot easier. And we've been doing a lot of YouTube videos. Shout out to Isaiah for coming to the shop and hanging out with me. So I finished those beams 2 weeks ago, but I only installed 2, and I needed to do a third one. So basically, I just cut it down and repurposed it, and I got that finished up last night. I hung it in its space. I took some pictures, but pictures really don't do it justice. It's such a big and wide spread out space. It's hard to take a good picture that shows like the actual what the space looks like. So I haven't shared it. It just the pictures don't do it justice, but it turned out.
So you don't want to share
nice.
pictures. Your post is going to get like taken down.
Yeah.
basically.
Also that, you don't share pictures on Instagram. That's not
Unless you use that sound that says, "So Instagram wants me to post videos." So
Dude, I did that once, and it was like one of my worst performing reels. So I'm not doing that anymore. What else? Oh, we Isaiah and I have been working on some tip boxes for a local car wash. We're going to turn that into a YouTube video. That's been a lot of fun. And starting next week, probably on Monday, I'm actually going to start working on some of the door commissions that I got, because I have to make 12 doors for one client.
Well,
Yeah.
It's a lot
like
of
$70,000 in doors.
So
It's
12
basically-
tabletops. Also, what kind of are these like rails and styles? Are we talking?
No, actually, they're just
straight-
very basic interior doors. They're going to be 2 pieces of MDF sandwiched together to make it 1.5 inches thick. And I'm going to put a border around it to give it a nice hard edge, like a maple edge. And then
Trim.
yeah, and then
a frame. Nice.
yeah, a frame. And then they're painters. This is going to a brand new house. The painter is going to paint them. I don't have to do anything.
Oh,
else,
nice.
so.
Oh, that's super
wow.
easy. Holy
Yeah.
smokes, that's nice.
I don't know why I've waited so long. It's going to be so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought these
And I
were
got to
all,
make
like,
the door
hardwood
I got to make the door
doors?
jams for him as well. So
Okay.
but these are all interior doors. The door jams are going to be super easy. It's actually, as it turns out, it's a good thing I waited so long to do it, because the drywallers drywalled like everything, and they went around the interior of the door jam.
Oh my
They shouldn't
gosh.
have.
Right.
Typically you
Well,
don't
maybe
put
they thought-
drywall.
Maybe they thought it was
Right.
just an opening instead
Yeah.
of rough.
I
They're
don't know
gonna
what they
fix that?
thought.
These people don't like
But-
doors.
I went to the house again, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go double check. I've had a lot of things go wrong lately, so I'm gonna make the drive out to my client's house. I'm gonna go double check and make sure nothing is awry, nothing's changed, and it's a good thing I did, because, like I said, the extra drywall made everything like 1 inch
But are
narrower.
they going to remove that drywall?
They have to.
Man, if they do,
They have to.
I'm gonna be so mad, because I've already went out there, I
Well,
remeasured.
because you have to. If you put a heavy
You have
door on
to.
it, you can't just
You
screw
can't
into the
leave-
drywall.
You can't screw it into the drywall.
No.
You have to.
I mean,
go
you
into
can
studs.
screw it through the drywall into there's studs there. There's studs
Are
there,
you-
but
are
they
you doing the
wrap
full
drywall
frame?
around the stud.
Yeah.
You got to be able to shim it though. You got to be able
You
to
have to
tune it.
shim. Yeah, you got to get it flat and stuff. That's gonna be a nightmare.
You might want to talk to the
Drywall
builder.
needs. You might want to talk to him. That drywall needs to come out, dude. That's gonna be. And then they have to
That's
trim it.
that's a good point. That's
He
a
must
good
have been
point.
paid per
Yeah.
square foot of drywall that he got to lay or something.
Yeah, he just like
Yeah.
marked it up.
If we don't get rid of this whole truck, we're not getting paid. We got to get this thing
That's a
done.
good point. I didn't think of that. I'm
It's
gonna be
like-
honest.
like,
This is the first
yes.
time I've made interior doors, so I'm
Like,
not.
Yeah.
I'm
It
not an
will
expert.
go into the studs, but like
Interior.
you're not. Oh, crocodile alligator.
Interesting.
You're not going
That's
to be
a,
able to.
that's a good
shim it,
point.
yeah.
I'm glad I brought this up. You guys
Yeah.
make valid points. Okay, so
Workshop it. Workshop.
I'll be
Workshop it.
I'll be going back to my client's house and having a talk with them. That's nice.
Add a price increase to it too.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have
Yeah.
to now.
I've been
Yeah.
out here twice now. $7,300 per trip. Have you seen gas?
What else? What else? Oh yeah, we just been banging out cutting boards too. I mean, we're just kind of stocking up for the holiday season. I have a lot of scraps and cutoffs and
idea.
stuff that have just been laying around, and Isaiah has helped me organize my shop a little bit. And I'm like, hey man, as we got time, if I'm over on the CNC and you got a little time, throw a cutting board together. They're so easy. They're quick wins. We can put it on Etsy. If it sells, it sells. If it don't, somebody's got a gift.
Yeah.
But chances are it'll sell come holiday season. So I'm not real worried about that.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's basically it. I will say this. It is so nice having somebody in the shop with me.
Motivates
So
you.
nice.
Yeah.
It is motivating because somebody is going to be there. So I have to get off my butt and be in the shop at a certain time because they are like counting on me. And it's just wild. So
It's a good thing
It's-
Max is a dog, because if he heard that,
he hasn't been very much help lately. He comes outside. I throw the ball for him once or twice. Then he goes, hey, I want to go back inside. He doesn't say it. He just gives me the look.
he
judges
says
you.
in his dog
Unbroken
language,
English.
"Hey, you run this CNC. I'm gonna get the ball. We'll meet up again in like 10 minutes."
Right. Right.
Yeah. He doesn't
Like-
stay outside with me is what I'm saying. He wants to go back inside after like 4 or 5 minutes, which is Whatever.
Real jerk move.
Hey,
Pete, do you want to go now, or should I throw it to Mike?
I'll go now. So I just I wrapped up. First of all, today I was just sick. I woke up feeling like absolute crap. I was supposed to go to the city, but I was like, I don't feel well. If I drove to the city, I would probably not make it there. So ended up taking a sick day, and I spent most of it in bed and just kind of sitting there and planning out the weekend. It is mine and Emma's 2-year anniversary of getting married.
Nice.
And 10-year anniversary of being together.
What's your actual anniversary date? The 20th?
20th for dating, 19th for the wedding.
Oh man, I thought I had it remembered, but
really
I didn't.
close. It's a ballpark. It's fine.
Nice.
Just think September.
Silver.
I knew it was September.
Like the song, So we're excited for that. We're gonna spend some time this weekend.
What song?
I'll send it to you later. You can Shazam it.
Long September.
Yeah,
and
that's the one.
Isn't that December? Isn't that
It's a
December?
bluegrass song.
I don't
You can make it
think so.
anything.
It's a long
You can do
December
whatever you want.
by the
It's the
Black
internet.
Crowes.
We can make it up.
Nope. This is a different song.
Oh, okay.
What else? So
By my favorite band, the Green Crows.
the Green Crows. The Green Boys band. So what else? What was this? So anniversary this weekend. Aside from that, I finished up the ice climbing picks 2 weeks ahead of schedule, which is awesome because it was due at the end of the month. So I'm done with those.
Look
Got
at
them.
you.
The customer picked them up today, which is perfect because I have a fair or like a township day or whatever here in town. We're going to be setting up a booth at. Emma signed me up, and I love her dearly, but I was not ready for this. This is at a crazy time right now. So I already have a bunch of boards that are still left over from the holidays, and anytime, like kind of Dan, like what you said, like if there's extra wood, I just kind of glue it up and try to make a board out of it. And I found all the scraps in the shed, and I've just been gluing them up into little boards, medium boards. If they're too small, I'll turn them into bottle openers. If they're the right size, they'll stay cutting boards, whatever. I'll kind of figure it out. So I got to get all that ready. But then I started thinking today, like, oh, I need to have cutting board holders, like those stands with dowels in them I need to make things to display all the things.
Jeff and Jess have a design for those.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know if that's where you're going with that.
I wasn't, but
over there.
I'll check it out. And then I started thinking of I need to
I have a
present
file.
all this stuff.
I have a file for the laser if you want it.
I was gonna do possibly a CNC one, but yeah, send me over that file.
I'll just send you
I'll
a
take
file,
it.
yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll take it.
I
So
used
anyways,
it at that fair I did. That worked out great. Anyway, good.
You were the
That fair
fairest
did.
of them all.
The thing is, I am not expecting to sell a crazy amount or whatever.
I
I'm
apologize.
just excited to kind of do it because it's in our small town and get to kind of know the community a little bit. And also
Can I
it'll
ask you a
help
question?
me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it like a normal fair that happens in the community?
It's like
Does it go on regularly?
Yeah, it goes they do
Like
it
a
every
yearly
year.
thing?
It's a yearly
yeah.
thing? Dude, you're
That's
going to
it.
sell so much stuff.
Hopefully. I hope so.
No,
But
you will.
the thing is, even if I don't sell a ton, this just helps me stock up for the holidays. Like Dan was saying, just making all those cutting boards and whatnot. Like this,
Inventory.
whatever I can make this weekend and glue it up and
Only bring
cut 'em
5 boards and then give people IOUs.
Actually, what
That's
I'm
better
trying,
than cash.
What I'm trying to figure out is how can I offer personalization on this stuff and potentially delivery or something. So work people into being like, hey, I thought about actually listing all of these and then during the show, taking them off my Etsy as they sell. But if a customer wants to buy one personalized with their name or whatever, I could offer that and then ship it or drop it off or deliver it. So I'm trying to figure out that
For
part
money.
of it. And then everyone's telling me oh, you should bring all the 3D printed stuff too. And I was like, it just feels like that's a lot of stuff. But I might grab a couple items just to have some stuff.
I feel
to
like the
offer.
3D printed
You
stuff
should
would
take them with you.
I'll definitely have some of
be-
it there. I just don't want to bring all the inventory. It would just be a lot.
Right.
You know? But something for the husbands. Yeah. That's it.
Everyone's
we'll see how
got
that
power
goes
tools
next
with
week.
batteries. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's not a terrible idea. Just have a shelf of the different options. I think it's-
I'll probably have them and then bring a couple of drills and have a thing for to hang them
Yeah.
up to show them off. Aside from that, did some printer maintenance because I've got all those printers. Guess what? 3 of them were down this week, so I had to.
Oh, I
fixed
bought
2
a
of them.
printer this week. I forgot
Really?
to tell you.
Is it 2D?
Yeah, it does it on paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it still counts, Dan. If you stack those up high enough and cut them out, 3D printed.
Oh yeah.
Big. Yeah,
If
stonks.
Big brain on B.
if you print on paper and stack them together and glue them up and then CNC them into a 3D shape, is that still 3D printing?
Yes, but it's it's 3D printing with extra steps.
Yeah. That's
So
assisted 3D printed.
Yeah, you go. So I did some printer maintenance, and I gotta be honest with you guys. Redoing my print shop downstairs has actually helped me package faster.
I prefer it when you lie to us.
Oh, I'm gonna lie to you guys. So the lie is, I'm packaging stuff faster because it's laid out. It makes more sense. First time when I had the old desk set up and everything, I was kind of crisscrossing the room to like grab the stuff, grab a box, grab this, and now I'm kind of going from left to right. Like print's finished, I put it away, grab it from there, pack it in a box, ship it. I'm still tweaking a little bit, but man, just packaging has become faster. So it's just so much nicer because I don't want to spend. I mean, Mike, when you ship Etsy orders, and Dan, when you ship Etsy orders, like it takes a while.
It does.
Like, shipping takes, if you have like
done with that,
even 10 orders, it could be an hour that you're away from something important.
My shipping setup could still be better, but building that little station that I have behind me, you can't see it now because it's
having it all in one spot.
But having it all in one spot has been exponentially helpful.
And we talk about this a lot on the pod. It's like setting up processes, like getting yourself set up so the stuff that you do already takes less time, gives you more time to do other stuff. So I'm very happy with the layout of that. Aside from that, I've just been working in the shop, making the cutting boards and stuff for next week. I got to CNC out some stuff. Finally, my CNC is not a damn table to hold these ice climbing things. So I can flatten it this week and actually carve out some bottle openers and some trays and random things for the show as well. So that's been my week. Mike, I want to hear all about your week.
Working on this dining table or dining set, this bench and chairs and table. I have a very sneaking suspicion I'm about to jump headfirst into an addiction of making chairs. These chairs, I'm having so much, like the most fun in woodworking I've had.
CNC or templates? I think I asked you last week. You're just using templates and cutting it out too.
Yeah, I made a back template, but nothing else is templated. It's just for the back. The rest is all done by the old fashioned way. But that is something I feel like I'm going to really go down deep into the rabbit hole.
Before you know it, Mike's going to be making Maloof chairs.
Yeah.
Are you going to take that class, by the way?
I'm taking 2 classes next year.
Oh, you are? Awesome.
Yeah, I've got 2 lined up. So the Phil Morley class I'm going to take, and then there's a guy named Caleb James who makes like modern Danish chairs, who I'm going to be taking that class.
I follow him. He's super talented.
Yeah, he's making good stuff. So anyway, the chair building is just, I've been like playing with different iterations and different styles on these chairs, and I'm like so excited to build them. I'm just really excited about chairs. And part of that is a tool that's out there that I don't have that is really, really helpful for chair building is the pentarouter. And I just bought one. The pentarouter is dope. I got to play with one at IWF. It's been on my radar one of the first people I followed when I first started getting into woodworking was Matthias, and he had his wooden one, and then there was the metal one, and then the guy who owns the pentarouter now, Max Sheldon, he came out with like the most recent iteration that is based on Matthias's stuff. So that's been on my radar for a long time. Like really wanting one has been on my radar since I went full time like a year.
But now it makes complete sense for you to have one.
Well, I don't want to say this the wrong way because I have a really close relationship with a vendor that makes my metal bases, but I'm sick of using metal bases for my tables. I really enjoy making the custom wood bases a lot. I mean, look, knocking out a table is so quick.
Like, you're a woodworker.
Yeah. Right? I the metal bases have their place, but I really am starting to enjoy the woodworking, the wooden bases just so much more. Like I don't want to just buy a base and slap it on. I just don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm able to like really get into the woodworking side of things with the bases and all the bases for all the furniture I make. I just really enjoy it. Anyway, I mean,
you could say you're all about that base.
It's about
that base.
About the base.
I think Casey, I beat you.
Make it. You beat me. You're fast, Dan. No, I agree. I think making bases is more fun than making the tops. Me personally. I love
the top is just a panel. Anybody can do that.
I'm more of a base guy than a top guy. So I think.
And you have that shaper now. That's gonna make making bases no treble. I did it.
Mike.
The origin. I'm like really excited about the combination of the origin.
I was talking about the other shaper.
The big shaper.
Big shaper.
Yeah, the big shapers. I can't wait.
They're
to put
both
that
no treble. Yeah.
Holy smokes. That thing's just sitting in its crate right now. I need to put that thing together. yeah, no, between the Origin and the pentarouter, I'm really excited about some of this stuff. I mean, obviously I have dominoes. I have both of them. I love my domino.
It's nice
great
to
for
have the
stuff.
options, baby.
But well, I mean,
it's just
really,
bigger dominoes.
I mean, being able to make really big custom tenons and stuff and mortises is going to be so slick. I'm really, anyway, total sidetrack there. But yeah, I'm really excited about that tool. What's up, Pete?
It's so off topic, but at some point, I want you to touch on, because you're going to be moving your CNC. I asked you about it this week or yesterday. I want to know what you're going to do with that corner. Or do you have any plans for that corner?
Oh yeah, that corner's already mapped out.
Stripper pole.
It's Dan nailed it. No reason to even go into it. No, I'm gonna put a stripper pole in. It's gonna be really hot, but it's just gonna be me, so it's gonna be super gross.
Mike is the only person here who has an OnlyFans, so I mean it's a possibility.
I mean, I don't. Coffee Custom Builds does. That company's a deviant. No, yeah, that corner. So up against the wall to the right of the CNC is going to be both bandsaws. Where the CNC is going to be my big outfeed table, which will now be our big assembly table. We'll be able to utilize all four sides. I've been working on a design for the new pentarouter. I'm going to be doing a video on that. Not sponsored video. I want to do. So I've got two benches I'm going to be making. One bench is going to be for the pentarouter, and my goal is to only use the pentarouter for all the joinery on that to show how to use the pentarouter. And then I'm doing another workbench for the Origin, which I'll be doing the same thing on. I'll be using just the Origin for the joinery just to kind of show what it does. What, Pete? I can see a big smirk on your face.
No, sorry.
Is your brain spinning a million miles an hour to come up with a joke? I can see steam coming out your ears.
I'm just thinking about fried cheese on the
Blackstone. Oh yeah,
Blackstone.
So good. We were talking about that earlier.
Appreciate
anyway, no, so those are really exciting. But anyway, so the big outfeed will go there. I'm going to move all the clamps along the wall back there. The sanders are going to. So right now I'm kicking around moving where my table saw is so that my jointer and planer can now be back to back, which is what I always wanted. But it's been very tough.
Makes sense.
The size of the machines. Yeah, they need to be back to back. That's how they should be.
Flow.
That's a milling flow situation. So probably move the table saw more towards the wall.
Bit of a heavy flow.
Yeah, even flow. Even flow. Anyway,
flow nays.
Not all the time. It's not always a heavy flow.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I was thinking Mike does bigger projects, so bigger boards,
more flow.
Yeah, bigger flow.
More flow.
So
it's heavier.
So yeah, everything's mapped out. It's gonna be good. I can't wait to get the CNC moved. I got to get my friend came over. Well, my friend Ty came over.
That's a
Ty
joke.
made it.
You have no friends. This is it.
No
It's just right here. This literally this chat.
Came over to get his check.
Yeah, came over to get his check for being my friend. It was really nice of him. No, he came over. He was gonna bring his trailer. Well, we were gonna try to figure out how to use leverage my tractor and some levers and pulleys and try to get the CNC onto his trailer and then over to the new building. It just didn't make sense. It was gonna be unsafe. So I'm gonna rent a reach
science, huh?
Yeah, it didn't. Inertia is a property of matter. It didn't work out. So we were gonna get I'm gonna get a reach lift. So I'll get like a 5K reach lift. So it's gonna be like $500 for the day, but I'll be able to move the CNC in one pick, which will be nice. So that'll be nice. Get that over to the new building. It's just sitting there waiting for that. So today I actually cut the vent hole through the wall for the vents for the laser to get moved. So I'm hoping tomorrow we can move the laser, but I have a big job that came up, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I need to probably have this laser running for the next 2 days. So I might do that Monday. And then, yeah, just working on this dining room set. I'm really tired of working on this dining room set. It's taking we kind of built it up, and some of the things in CAD, it looked really good, but in person, I didn't like the scale of some things. So
is that the one with the bench that you made out of poplar?
No, I actually dropped poplar. I did it all out of maple because maple. Well, one, I have a ton of maple, but maple takes pigmented lacquers a lot better than poplar. There's a lot more graininess in poplar, so
it doesn't seep in as well. It doesn't wick in.
Yeah, it's not as open. So yeah, it doesn't blot exactly. So the primer, I started using this new primer. I moved over all my pigmented lacquers, and well, realistically, I'm probably moving my lacquers as well, all to Sherwin-Williams, the Kim Aqua product. I will say I'm extremely impressed with that product. I accidentally had the wrong tip in the gun, and it was laying down real blotchy, but it still leveled out perfectly. Like I was really impressed with how well it works. So
that's what I used on those hidden bookcase doors I made last year. That pigmented lacquer from Kim Aqua.
Yeah,
it was wonderful. It was
yeah,
wonderful. It laid down well,
like
and I was spraying it on MDF, and it was still nice
with no primer.
Wow,
no primer.
Wild. Well, I guess on the face surface, MDF's not terrible, but yeah. So we just got that. There's a lot of other things, but I won't blather on. So just busy right now. Just trying to get some stuff.
Yeah, you're always busy.
Though, yeah. Let's get going with first questions from Mark Ohlms. Here it is.
Hey guys, Mark Ohlms calling you here from Pittsburgh. Question for all three of you. Did you set any business goals for 2022, and how are you progressing toward those goals as we, go into the fourth quarter here? Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work. Stay healthy, and don't lose your ponytails. Thanks.
That's right. I remember that joke now.
Yeah, see,
ponytail joke.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but
I don't remember it either. But it's a good pullback. Let's talk to Casey first. Casey, goals for 2022.
2022. It's
get hacked.
Get hacked. Unchecked that one. No. Basically, just maintain where I'm at. Like, don't get over my head. Don't get too big for my britches, and just keep doing what I've always done. Building what we want to build for our house and for our family and friends as we want to. And take care of the little projects when they come up. I don't bite off more than I chew, or than I can chew. So the beauty of that is I can really manage whatever I want to do easily. I kind of get overwhelmed if I get a lot of projects stacking up, especially now that the end of the year is coming up. I can easily get distracted by family and life and work and all that stuff. And then it's like, after everybody goes to bed and I got to come out to the shop at 10 o'clock at night. Now I got to try to squeeze in a bunch of projects. So I really pulled the meter back this year. And so I guess that question is more geared to you guys, because you guys are all doing really well in your businesses and your platforms.
I'm glad it seems that way.
I've kind of regressed a little bit just to do a 30,000 foot view.
Just maintaining.
Yeah, exactly. Not try anything crazy new, not yeah, just do what I've always done and finish out the year strong and have a good Christmas season. So that's my goal.
Pete.
So wait, I missed the question. Is it through the end of the year, or are we talking about next year?
No, he's talking like, did you have any goals for 2022? Have you met them? How's looking for 2023?
Oh, got you.
Yeah, we're coming up into Q4 pretty soon.
Yeah. So
are we?
I had some lofty September. Goals. I had some lofty goals for this year, and I haven't hit them. And I remember watching I rewatched recently the Etsy class thing I did, and I talked about wanting to have this many listings or whatever in Etsy shop, and it's grown by 2. That's sad.
But your orders are staying.
Orders are
pretty
good.
Steady, right?
The thing is, the overall sales are up, orders are up. Conversion rate is lower. I'm seeing more people on my site on Etsy, but I'm seeing less purchases. Mm-hmm. So that's something. The thing is, I'm not listing enough, and I always joke around ABL. You should always be listing ABL. The other thing is, I need to tweak some of the stuff. I've had this to-do list that just when you have a to-do list and you just keep ignoring reminders in your phone, and the important stuff that you might not get to just keeps getting pushed to the top of the list. I rarely look at the top of the list. I just try to knock out the easy stuff. And the stuff at the top is really important. And there's been things on there that I've been if I don't do this, it hasn't made a difference in 6 months. Is it really going to make a difference going forward? And I'd get rid of them. It's stuff that I thought at the time was important, but I got rid of it. But there's stuff go over your Etsy listings, try to tweak them a little bit, change the keywords, change them for the holidays. Add borders around your photos so they kind of pop in a search, all that stuff. So basically, my goal for the rest of the year I really beat myself up last week, and I was I need to tweak my listings. I need to put out new products. I need to finish all the designs I'm working on. So I want to still, by the end of the year, double my listings. a little less than double at this point. I want to be at 50 listings on my page. I need to put more digital files up there. I want to list some of the boards that I have and other projects. And the goal for next year really is, I want next year for Etsy and pretty much all the Peachtree's Workshop stuff to replace my income entirely. I'll stay at my job. I do like my job, but I basically want to double my income doing this extra thing. Now that it's an LLC, like I'm learning all these things about what I can do. I did tax exempt the other day, and I was like, this feels illegal. Am I breaking the law? I'm not paying tax on this. This is fine. And it seems really weird, but like it's a legitimate benefit. Mike's been talking about this for forever, and like paying for material and not having to pay tax on it is huge. So I'm going to be trying to lean into the LLC thing, try to take every advantage I can, try to roll in anything that I can from my personal life into the LLC, and just try to make some benefits to try to get some more profit out of the whole thing. So that's kind of the thing. I want to focus on the business, and I want to double it next year. That's the big goal. Dan?
Well, if you remember back at the beginning of the year, we had a very similar question. And my answer was, I don't set goals. And these guys made fun of me.
Goals set me.
And that remains true. I don't really set goals. I feel like I relate a little bit with Casey, even though I do this full time. But I don't set goals. I just kind of go with the flow and just kind of hope everything gets a little bit bigger as it goes, and take life by the horns as it comes to me, I guess. I don't sit and write down goals, and I don't want to be upset when I don't reach those goals, I guess, which is probably a really terrible way of looking at it. But hey, I'm never upset. I'm never upset when I don't reach my goals. So
you've grown a lot this year.
I have grown a lot this year, and I'm very grateful. I've made a lot of strides. My Etsy store is doing very well. My business is doing well. I've grown on followers and potential sponsorships. I got some stuff in the works, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
I have grown, but like I said, and it remains true from the beginning of the year, I don't set goals. I just don't do it. But one person that does set goals and obliterates those goals is Mike Coffey, and I'd like to hear about him.
Go.
I actually mid-year decided not to set goals anymore. So,
I'm like,
times are changing.
You son of a
Such a setup.
No, yes. So I did have a bunch of goals this year, and I mean, it's hard to like flesh a lot of those out, because this is gonna sound like I did this, but it wasn't. So I kind of all the goals I really had set for this year, I went past those earlier in the year, and it was not a lot of it was like, oh, I'm going after this goal. So one of the main goals I had was to get my employees as W2 employees, so they're like full-time employees. That was a very eye-opening process for me. In California, it is extremely expensive to have employees. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. But I did that back in May or
thanks,
something.
Obama.
It was very eye-opening. Having like full-time employees is, man, really expensive. But I did it, and I got past it, and now that's our standard operating procedure here. Is I've got employees, I've got all the insurance and stuff I need. So I have all these things that I did that I had wanted to do by the end of the year. And it really, what I was saying earlier about me, like, not like I had the goals, but I wasn't like, oh, it's all me. It was more like I legally had to get those things done. So like to continue operating, like I had to get the insurances, I had to get the work comp, I had to get the business insurance, I had to do all these things. And it's like, yeah, actually, you know what? This isn't something I can wait on, because if something happens, I'll be in like real trouble. Not like, oh, I'm not selling a bunch of stuff. It'd be like, oh, I'm being sued because an employee lost their finger, and oh, I have to sell every single thing I own now. And I live on the streets. So like, it's all these things, like you have to put all these things like in order, because if you don't, it's bad, like really bad. And then like becoming an administrator of a business is, being the boss is a learning experience. Like I've been the boss, but I've had employees for most of my adult life. But being the owner of a company and being the boss is a completely different thing. And you have to like walk this really thin line of not letting the employees step on you, but also being a very compassionate boss. Like it's really hard to find this like really fine line. And at the same time, you have to keep your cool with your employees because it's not your emergency, even though they work there, it's not their problem. It's not their emergency. Like you have to manage these expectations with them, but also give out the work to them in a way that is professional and shows that you appreciate them doing it. So there's all these different things like I've had to learn this year, and it's really hard. Like it's really hard. And sometimes it's like really lonely. Like these are things like I didn't expect through the year. Like I don't have a lot of people I can talk to about these things. And that's kind of like, I don't have a lot of people in my life where I can go like, hey, this thing, there's like 3 people I can talk to about it because they deal with it regularly, but I don't have a lot of it. And it gets real lonely having to deal with like all these different things now that I don't have anyone to talk to, and I have to like work through it. And I can't be like, hey, what do you guys think about this? I do. I get to vent to you guys, but you aren't experiencing it. And I don't mean that as a dig, but I just don't have other people. I only have like I said, I have like 3 people who are doing this very similar thing to me. Like the 3 of us, we're doing very different things. And that's why the show is good. Like the show is good because we do very different. We're approaching
dynamic, a
similar thing with a different approach. So that's why the show is good. And that's not a dig on you guys. And it's not that I don't need you guys. It's there's not many people in my life where I can have this conversation with, and it's this big thing in my life. So like, I know this is separate from the question that was asked, but I wanted to talk about this because I haven't talked about this much on the show. Like Dan's like, oh, Mike sets these goals and he crushes them. Well, it's like, yes, I did get all these goals done, but I have all these new goals now, and it's like really stressful. Like one of my goals for 2023 is to provide my employees with health benefits.
But I think you strive on stress.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I have this weird thing where like if I'm not stressed out, I'm like I'm actually stressed. If I feel like
if you're
I'm
not stressed, you're
it's not
depressed.
If you're comfortable,
it's pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
I perform under pressure, and if I don't feel pressure, like if I haven't loaded myself up with stuff, I then get stressed out because I'm like, did the business stop? Do we not sell stuff anymore?
Yeah.
Is everyone fired? Do I have to, whatever
Right.
this, whatever thing that, you know what I mean? That's where like, so for me, like pressure, I am very fortunate to handle pressure really well, but it's the other side of that sword is that like, when there isn't a lot of pressure, I'm stressed out. So, it's not great for my heart. So like, there's 2 sides. There's 2 sides of these things too. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to it. So, but in terms of goals, I think it's extremely important to set goals if you want to keep pushing yourself. Now, I also think it's very, very important to be able to look at yourself and what you're going and doing in your life and going, okay, is maintaining the thing I want to do right now. And that's really important to do. I think that's really important. And that's good. That's good to be able to do that. For me, I can't do that. I just can't. I just can't maintain. I have to be constantly growing. Now there is a point. I do have like a point in my head where Coffee Custom Builds hits and I'm
on Apple status.
No, it's not. And I was actually just having this conversation today with someone in the community, and she was asking me like, what's your goal? And I was like, well, my goal is to have no more than 5 employees. And I want the company set up in a way where I have officers, and I'm hoping it's the people who work for me now that I can train them and bring them along to where Coffee Custom Builds is that position where, obviously I'm talking about Sean and Matt, where Sean and Matt can kind of run day-to-day stuff. I can run this stuff up here, and I can just do whatever I can build whatever I want and get back more into content. That's like my goal. Yeah. Like my goal is like the company runs itself on a day-to-day basis. I pay those guys good money to do it, to do the day-to-day stuff, because they actually really enjoy that stuff. They're good at that stuff. I like that stuff too, but I really just want to make furniture all day long. I don't really necessarily want to run like the same thing over and over again. So that's why like there's money in some of these things. There's money in the things I do at Coffee Custom Builds in terms of these mini production runs and these working with these larger companies. There's money in it for sure. And it's more stable than just straight up commissions. But man, I would just do commissions all day long if I could. But the fact is it's really hard to run a business, a furniture business, on just straight up custom commissions all the time. So, and at the end of the day, owning a furniture business doesn't even make sense to do because there's just not that much money in it. So you have to do all these different things. Like it's just really hard. It's not like this is gonna laugh. People are gonna laugh, but it's not like a landscaping business or like a window washing business. Like you could have one of those businesses and like, oh yeah, you hire on like 10 skilled people who know how to do that thing. You charge their rate, whatever their burden rate is for your company. And then you mark your overhead or you do your markup on that, like 20% or 15%. You know what that money's going to be because you're going to have these customers that always need their yards mowed or whatever. And it's really reliable income.
Thing.
Yeah. It's constantly recurring. Like you have these home service companies that you're like, if you're like an entrepreneurial person, furniture making makes no sense on paper. There's lots of more businesses out there where you can make a lot more money.
It's very hands-on.
It's very hands-on, but it's very if you're doing like custom commissions, it's very
you're getting very little repeat business.
Yeah, there's this really nebulous space where like you're not getting all this repeat business. It's not like a landscaper gets. Landscaper goes and does the same lawn every Tuesday at 3:00 in the afternoon or whatever. So they do the same thing. If I get a repeat customer, the second piece I'm making them is going to be I'm going to put my heart and soul into it because they've come back as a repeat customer and they're getting a Christmas gift that year. If they come back for like a third or fourth or whatever, they're getting free coffee from Coffee Grinds. I'm going to take care of them as well as they can,
Maybe a cutting board.
Yeah. Everyone who buys twice gets a cutting board for sure. So, I mean,
you heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
No, that's just true. That's Christmas. That's that's what we, at the end of the year, that's what Matt is going to be working on in 3 weeks. He's going to be making cutting boards.
Every one of my clients, every time I finish a big project, I bring him a cutting board. And
I learned that from you, Dan.
I'm like, hey, sorry this took so long. Here's a cutting board.
I don't say that nice? No. So, but in terms of like goals and stuff, I think it's really important. I don't think that what's important to everyone isn't the same. It's not the same thing. Like there's no like, oh, Mike's doing it, so I have to do it. That's not how it is. If it's important to you that you do it, then it is important to you that you do it and you should do it. If it's not, then it's not. I just like the hustle. So whatever.
Maintain your happiness, friends.
Right.
Yeah. I like this stuff. This stuff makes me happy. Yeah. This stuff and this like learning this and getting better at this makes me happy. If for you, the thing that makes you happy is getting done with your very stable 9-to-5 job, getting done at the end of the day, getting home at 6 and playing a video game, if that makes you super happy, great. You do that. And that's great. You don't need to do this other thing. You don't. That's the bottom line. The next question is from Thomas. He's from France.
French. Hey guys, it's Thomas from France again. Don't worry, I have a weird accent, but I'm not a scammer. I have 2 questions. In 2020, you made a video with your daughter and she said, I'm so lucky to have a dad who's a woodworker. How much did you pay her to say that? Just kidding. I actually have 2 girls, a 3 years old and a 16 months old, and I really, really wish that they say that sentence one day. Mm-hmm. Next, it's a real woodworking question. So I was ripping some ash on my small bandsaw and suddenly it just stopped working. I tried to readjust everything without luck. I'm quite sure that ash dulls everything quickly, but I'm not sure it would actually dull a cheap new blade in only 7 small cuts. Do you have a brand of bandsaw blade to recommend me? One that will ship to Europe would be nice too. By the way, I hope you'll have your account back soon. Fuck those scammers, seriously. Merci, à plus.
Thanks, Thomas. Casey, that was directed at you for the most part. That first part was for sure.
Casey, can you tell us, like, how did you go about involving your family in the shop?
No pressure. That's the big thing. In the beginning, it was like, I just like to be out here hanging out and doing my own thing. And if the kids showed any interest and had any questions, it was simple. I would show them or I would answer that and let them try things. And that was the biggest thing, is to obviously be vigilant as to what they want to try and what they want to do, but to let them know that, no, you can't touch that, or no, you can't, that's I'm going to do that. So I just slowly introduced it to them, and I never put the pressure on them that they had to be out here doing something or helping or whatever. So to me, that's really allowed them to blossom in their own ways. So like, for instance, he was mentioning that video in 2020 with my daughter. She came to me and said, I want to make a table for my room. I want a little side table for my chair. And she sketched it out. And I said, okay, let's pick out some wood. What kind of wood would you like? And then she picked everything. She wanted like a whitewashed ash for the top. And then we did ash legs that she wanted to be jet black. And so I used India ink for that, and basically guided her hand as she made it. Some things I would always ask her with every tool, are you comfortable using this? I would show her kind of like a quick demonstration of what it did. And I would say, would you like to use this, or do you want me to do this? And then we would just have that conversation. And yeah, it just went from there. And at the end, you see the elation in their face because now they've made something in your shop, and you got to be front seat and be right there for the whole thing. And I shot all the video for it. So I also asked her, like, are you okay if I throw this on YouTube? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. So it was a lot of fun as a dad moment, but a lot of fun as a teaching moment. And also to see, and really the ultimate goal for me is to show my kids that they can make whatever they want. Like, and anything's achievable within reason. You get a house and you want a nice big table, you can make that. Or, I mean, obviously if you have the luxury of being able to afford to have somebody make it for you, but there's something about making the thing for yourself exactly the way you want it, to have it look exactly like how you want it to look. And at the end of the day, it's one of a kind. You made it, and sit back and just enjoy it. So
I actually try to really get out on the street that people can't make furniture for themselves. It's a real good business decision
Right.
I've been
You
doing.
should
I'm
come-
trying to make
yeah,
it clear
that's
that
part of your goal.
like you actually
Just-
can't make
yeah.
that. So
well, I only tell
money,
my kids,
please. No.
I tell my kids that. I don't tell people
Family
that.
secret.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old Reeves
So it's
family recipe.
It's a recipe. It's in, but yeah, no,
It's at the
that's
back of the book.
and same with my son. He does not have as much interest out here. He does in making guitars. So if you've seen anything
got him
on my
there.
channel, yeah. So he's loving guitar right now. He's taking lessons. He and I jam a couple times a week. And I love it because he's getting me back into it. I've been away from it for too long. But he wants to use the CNC to make his own guitar. So he wants to design a body. We will probably, for the first one or two, possibly just buy an off the shelf blank neck and just shape it ourselves. And then I'll get a couple tools for layout and measurement and all the precision parts of making a guitar. But yeah, I mean, if he wants to get into that and he shows an interest in it, then by all means, he can be out here every day running the CNC, making guitar bodies and selling them if he wants. So
That'd
Good
be
market
cool.
in that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Cool.
Bandsaw blade recommendation?
He said
I-
specifically that goes to Europe, so I don't.
yeah.
Dan,
That's
does,
gonna be-
do you
that's
think
gonna be tough.
sawblades.com ships there?
That was going to be my recommendation,
That's kinda
sawblade.com,
mine
but
too.
I don't know if they go to Europe.
I don't know. That's a toughie.
That's the one I always go to get my bandsaw blades. But I've actually just recently asked my Instagram followers if they know of anywhere local because I'm tired of waiting for shipping.
Yeah.
Sawblade.com is like amazing, and they're not sponsoring this at all. I just
No.
think their customer service is fantastic. But there comes a time where I don't want to I don't want to wait for
Yeah.
shipping.
Yeah.
As a quick aside with his question, to me it sounded like he might have had a little bit of movement in the wood as he was cutting, like it was
Yeah, there
biting.
might have been some
Yeah.
tension in there.
some tension that was squeezing the blade rather than
I
opening
actually
it up.
had that problem on my bandsaw like 2 weeks ago. I was resawing a piece of 8/4 cherry and there was some tension in there and it pinched the blade and it really screwed up the blade. And that's one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I was reaching out about bandsaw blades, because I had to reorder some bandsaw blades from sawblade.com and it was going to take like way too long to get them to me. And I was like, oh man, I really wish there was somebody local that actually sold the size I need.
Yeah.
You could throw a little
that's-
wedge in there if you want.
Yeah, that's
That-
what I do. If I start to get tension, I'll take a anytime I make like any kind of angle cuts, I cut the very tips of those pieces off and keep them as little wedges. And so I'll shove them in like any kind of tension spot like that on the backside.
That's a good idea.
Dan, you don't have a Woodcraft or a Rockler, do you?
Dude, there is a
I
Woodcraft,
don't.
but what they charge for bandsaw blades is just
They have the Timberwolves. It's like $30.
Yeah.
no, they don't.
Oh,
It
really?
was
No, they
like the last time I bought a bandsaw blade from Woodcraft. Man, I don't want to say this in case I'm wrong, but I think it was like
Fine, it
$100
doesn't matter. It
for
doesn't
a
matter.
single blade.
Ooh, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Well, what's
Well,
a
depends
retail?
on what blade
they're
you
like
get. Some
they're
are
like
pricey.
40 minutes across town, which is
Yeah.
it's a lot.
schlep.
It's a lot less than waiting for a few days for a blade through the mail. But
There is
I mean,
also
it's
Amazon.
kind of a
I
hassle.
mean,
Amazon has lots of blades on them.
Do they?
Yeah.
I've
I mean,
never
yeah.
checked Amazon for saw
that's where I
blades.
get all
though.
my.
Timberwolf
When I
is
used to
where
get
they have-
Timberwolf blades for the old, the new bandsaw,
I've always been super happy with sawblade.com.
I have enough
Timberwolf blades
Laguna
are
blades.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Like Timberwolf blades are fine. I like my Laguna blades a lot. The Timberwolf blades are good. I had a Linux carbide blade. I bought it custom. It was very expensive. It was really well worth the money in my opinion. I still have that. It's a 3/8 blade. I keep it on my 1412. I've had it for 2 years. I bought it.
Oh wow, really?
Just a great blade.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I use my
it's full
bandsaw a lot
carbide.
for resawing because the Etsy inserts and the bow ties and everything. I just resaw everything
Yeah.
off. So
Yeah. I love
Yeah, I
should
use
probably
resawing.
look
both
into
of
one
my
of those.
bandsaw. The both bandsaws are used multiple times a day in the shop. I mean, it's the resaw blade on there. I've got that Resaw King, which don't quote me on this, but I'm almost certain that that Linux, the Resaw King, the Linux blades, and one other company that makes carbide blades, they're all from the same manufacturer.
Oh.
So
might
I'm pretty
be.
sure they're all from the same place. There was like a QA issue during
with the
COVID.
welding.
Yeah, that was happening to all three of the major carbide bandsaw manufacturers,
had to grind
bandsaw
mine
sellers,
back.
and I'm pretty sure they're all
Huh.
coming from the same factory. It was like the same issue on all three companies. So
That's one of the major reasons why I don't buy that particular brand is because I remember that issue where the
that hasn't
Resaw
been an issue in a
Kings
long
had.
while.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's-
And also, Toma, look up Alex Snodgrass.
Yeah,
He's
the man.
like the bandsaw king. Thank you. So he will show you how to set up a bandsaw blade for resawing and stuff. He really knows his bandsaws. That's all he does, or a lot of what he does. And he's like helped develop like the Carter guides and all this stuff. So definitely check him out. He'll show you how to set that thing up to get
Very
really
good
nice,
resource.
accurate cuts.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You
put
he's got
his
ton of
link
information.
in the show notes if you
Yeah, I'll
want.
throw it in the show notes.
Cool. All right, listen. The reason we're all here.
Oh
because
yeah,
Casey,
we're an hour in and we
everything
haven't
he
even
holds
talked
dear.
about it yet. Gee,
I know.
whiz.
Yeah.
I was doing the
Yeah.
wrap it up. We got to get to Casey's. What happened, Casey?
The
Give us
800-pound
the
gorilla
dirty
in the room.
deets.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago, today actually, I was sitting on the couch and hanging out with my son, and I got a DM message on Instagram, and it was from a friend that I've chatted with in
Bitcoin.
the past. Yeah, from Bitcoin. And I get a lot of DMs, and I try to have a lot of good dialogue with a lot of people.
You try to respond to all of them
yeah.
and be a real
Yeah.
person.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
And
we can
it's-
all relate to that.
If I get a good, definitely put some time into it and getting them a good answer. And so this person I've had a lot of banter back and forth with on woodworking, and they're a local guy. Not going to say his name because it's irrelevant, but he said, "Hey, can I send you a quick message?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" And then I immediately got a text notification at the top of my window or at the top of my phone. And I didn't, and I'm not even thinking, just sitting on the couch, I just tapped on it. And it was one of those, like to go to your Instagram account, tap this link. And when I tapped it, I basically opened that link. And then my phone went to my Instagram login screen saying that I have been logged out of Instagram.
Oh,
And that's so fast. Holy
I
cow.
immediately was like, I did not do that. Like I did not do that. And there's like 2 seconds of like shell shock. Like, did this just happen? And I immediately got a Gmail
You knew right
notification.
away.
Yeah. My gut just dropped. I got a Gmail notification that said I had changed my password and username on my Instagram account. It was less than 30 seconds probably. And I just went into like a panic mode where I immediately like went to my PayPal because when you get that like knee jerk reaction, like it's fight or flight, right? So you just start panicking and wanting to fix and touch everything. You're like, I got to change my PayPal. I got to change my Venmo. I got to just cover everything. Cause I I had thought, like, what was the depth of this? How good is this person? Do they have my phone? Do they have my Google account? Or is it just my Instagram? So I immediately changed my Google passwords to just something random. I just wrote down a bunch of crap on a paper and changed it. So I knew that was separate. And I think ultimately, and I'll go into this as we talk about this.
Casey, real quick, I do have audio of when it started happening of you.
No, God!
Yeah. Yes,
no,
exactly. See,
God, please, no!
You have that.
All right, sorry.
You have that audio because you are the guys that hacked me, right? Remember that?
Right. Yeah, we have that audio. Yeah, that's you. What are you talking about? What? No.
Yeah, no. That was pretty much what it was like. My son looked at me like, "What's the matter, Dad?" And I was just like, "I just lost my Instagram account." And he's like, "Oh no, I hope you get it back." And I'm like,
"Well, see you, Dad."
Yeah.
It's been big gulps, huh?
You're a nobody. Now that you're a nobody. Yeah. So I quickly did a deep dive into, obviously, hacked Instagram, trying to find out what's going on. But in the meantime, while I was like looking on Google, like, how do I recover an account and blah, blah, blah. And I got a text, and the text came from the hacker. And it was not a numbered text, it was from an email. So it was some just like random BS at gmail.com. And they said, "So sorry to your account. I realized that taking things that doesn't belong to you is bad. I want to give it back." And I'm like, why did you take it? You kind of ask like some generic stupid questions because you're so freaking mad. You just want to like blow them up. But I'm like, I don't want to set this guy off and have him like delete my account. Like, I just want it back. So I just asked like really simple, like, why did you take it? Can I get it back? Is there a possibility? Like, what are you looking for? And he goes, I want to give it back. I need your email that you used for the account. Oh. And I said, I'm not giving that to you. And then, so there was a lot of back and forth at that kind of like wheelhouse of like, I'm not giving you that email. And I'm thinking, like, you have my account. You see on the bio of my account what my email is. So like, what are you looking for? And ultimately they're like, okay, we want to give it back. Here's the password. Here's the sign on. And I tried it quick on another device and it didn't work. It says the password is incorrect. And he goes, I'm going to send you a code. Just send me that code. And I'm like, I'm not sending you anything. So I got a Gmail notification to my Reeves Makes Gmail of a 6-digit character number. And he's like, just send me the code and you'll have your account back. I'm like, I'm not sending you this code. Because ultimately what I think he was doing was trying to log into my Gmail account or my Google account and get two-factor authentication going.
Yep, that's exactly what was going on.
And use that 6-digit code to get my Google account. And I could be way off. I mean,
no, it sounds like it.
I mean, to me, that was what my perspective was. So like, I was doing the whole like 75,000 followers, 6 years of content, like all these relationships, but I still have my house. I still have my health. I still have me and my shop and what I'm capable of. Am I willing to just walk away from this or get into it with this guy? So the best part was that in the whole like middle of this thing, he goes, "You're making this really difficult for me. Why are you doing this?" And I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, why would you do this, Casey?
Go F yourself, dude.
Like, oh my gosh, really? The audacity.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I have no patience for scammers of any kind.
Yeah. And I watch, like, I go into those like 3-hour deep dives on YouTube of like scammer, like recovery channels, like guys that like scammers. And I love it. But then I'm like, I'm just willing to not deal with this guy. Like, I don't negotiate with hackers. So I'm not gonna give this guy what he wants. So I just basically walked away from the text and tried a bunch of different things. But like the most frustrating part of all of it was like the capacity and the size and how popular Meta and Facebook and Instagram is. Their customer support portal, like even just finding a spot to get a hold of somebody is next to impossible.
And the thing is, like, you need to keep that in mind if you are actually paying Meta, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, as a paid advertiser. Right. You're gonna have the same customer service.
Right.
If you're giving them money, you can't get a hold of them.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable how impossible it is. And I'm thinking, like, I don't consider my account to be, I mean, I know guys with millions and millions of followers. I follow people all the time. Like I'm not big, but there should be like a cap. Like maybe there's a level like where anybody over this size account at least can get like a click option to do something.
Yeah.
To get a hold of somebody. Like just
some sort of support. It's ridiculous.
Because it's impossible. And so I immediately and thank you guys. I do want to say thank you to you guys particularly, and also everybody else in the community that really banded together and put the word out there almost immediately that my account had been hacked. And I was getting nonstop emails and messages from people all night and all the next day and several days after, actually.
Oh, it's pretty wild. We got the news as we were talking about.
Yeah.
Sort of the same situation while we were recording the episode with Joni.
Yeah.
I think Mike got the message first.
Mike got it first, and he shouted it out, and
it was wild.
Yep.
It was crazy. It was. I mean, and it was that fast. But yeah, then the word obviously just everybody started banding together and just coming to me and saying, "Hey, like, hope we get it back." I know a good friend of mine did a story. He did a few stories, and he did mention that if you were on an account that you feel there's an issue with, if you shake your phone, you can report that account. And I think you can put in like any kind of description as to what the issue is with the account. Like it's not just block or report. It actually has like a spot where you can, say this.
All you got to do is shake your phone.
Yeah.
I think it's shake to report.
What's with this,
on Instagram?
The shaking of the phone?
Instagram.
Yeah,
has
shake to report.
Drop my phone or something. It's like, oh, is there a problem?
Interesting.
Like, no, I'm just clumsy.
Yeah.
So this is kind of off topic, but totally on topic. I literally just got a message from another IT friend of mine. Uber just got hacked.
Oh, really?
There's a large breach. May contain credit cards.
The
passwords.
entirety of Uber?
Yeah, like Uber. So
my goodness.
Just PSA to everyone: go change your Uber password tonight or today, whenever you're listening to this. Just literally just happened while we were talking. I just changed my password while we were.
Wow, you guys have a track record for finding hacked things.
It's weird. It's almost a little too weird.
Yeah, like black hat. I hear that's the cool term to use.
There's a lot of that was one thing that really kind of opened my eyes when this all obviously hit the fan, is how many other people said, hey, so and so also got hacked, and I know somebody that got hacked. And
but there were several people who reached out and they're like, hey, we got hacked as well.
And leading up to it, like I was getting those messages like, hey, go vote for me, I'm participating in X. And it's like all these things, and I'm like come on, like really, like at first you see one from somebody and you do have to stop yourself.
Here's a little tip I have, especially with modern devices like iPhones, even on I actually don't know how it works on Android, but I know if you have an iPhone, if someone sends you a link, what you do is you hit the three dots, because Instagram opens it in its own browser. You hit the little three dots and you say open in browser. That takes it to Safari. And if Safari's not auto-filling your username and password, huge red flag.
Gotcha.
Because
I would imagine it works similar-ish on Android.
I'm assuming it does too, but like that's just, most of us have our passwords saved in Keychain or something, the Android equivalent. If it's not auto-populating, if the URL just looks slightly different, don't do it.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And that's really, my thing is obviously just avoid all link-based.
It sounds like what got you was somebody that you knew and trusted, or you thought.
Yeah, it was really the same as like if any of you guys sent me a message and said, hey, can I send you a message quick? And at first I kind of like chuckled. I'm like, well, you just did send me a message. But I got the text.
I had a message like that come from a follower, and I've talked to them, but I don't really know them. So I don't know their account name, but I've gotten the message where they're like, hey, can you help me out? My account's been locked. Can I send you a message?
Oh, yeah.
I need some help. And I'm like, no, like,
right.
I feel like if any of those things happen and it feels fishy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt that. I don't know if you were like, this is kind of weird that this person's asking me that, but I feel like if you're in that situation, it feels not right. Maybe just ask a question that only they would have the answer to.
Well, and that's, I said that on one of my, I actually just did a YouTube video I launched yesterday, kind of just covering this kind of briefly. And the big thing is, we
have exclusive rights to the Casey Reeves story. You take that down.
Sorry. I'll turn off
We're laughing, but
monetization
it's
on
true.
No,
It's true.
true.
Take it down.
No, it's
No.
seriously.
It's basically I just covered the same thing. Like if it looks to the point where you feel like you have to question it, ask a simple question.
Yeah.
Like you know, something that person either would know or go into a deeper conversation with that person to determine for yourself if this is a real conversation on this real topic. Because I think pretty quickly, if it's somebody you've talked to before, that it's going to be quickly made aware if this is really them or not.
Yeah.
And this guy
100%.
the next day, he heard word because, like I said, he's a local guy. He actually works with a family member of mine. So he's like, hey man, he texted me and he's like, I am so sorry. I heard what happened. He's like, I feel so bad. I'm like, dude, you got hacked. Like they took over you. And the thing I feel bad about is now somebody's impersonating me out there, possibly potentially reaching up to 75,000 people and doing the same crap. And ultimately they're going to get
gross.
a small percentage of these people to bite like I did.
Yep.
And
there's always going to be a small percentage of people that'll fall.
Oh
for
yeah.
it. Always.
Yeah.
That's why these people
That's
stay
why it
around.
exists, right?
Yeah,
Hacking
exactly.
didn't exist if people didn't fall for it. So
The worst type of people.
it just sucks that it's so easy. It's easier to get hacked than it is to get your stuff back. Like
That blows my mind. The fact that you can't get, like, I had something reported. I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Got it reported for hate speech.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing hateful in there. And it basically flagged it. And the day it happened, my numbers just took a nosedive.
Yeah.
It immediately stopped, serving me to people.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
My wife, it's funny. She still follows the original account. And so she's my monitoring window for
Actually, I think I do as well. I don't think I've unfollowed it.
Yeah.
I noticed recently you can't tag it anymore. The tag's been removed. Like you,
I
want
didn't want to unfollow it in case that like you did get it back. Yeah.
And that's the thing. So it's private now because I built my other account and I tried to access it, and I'm like, I would just want to see what it looks like, but it's private. So
they blocked you.
They blocked me
because I can see it fully.
I can see it fully too.
So you have been blocked by that account.
Gotcha. Which
or
is
restricted. Actually no, may have just been blocked.
So I'm not sure.
Your bio is still intact. Your posts are still intact.
That's the thing.
There's been some stories that have been like.
Yeah, the Bitcoin crap that was there right away in the beginning. Like immediately after they hacked it and then texted me, then the Bitcoin story hit. And that's when people really were like, this doesn't jive with the way you do stories. Like, what's going on? And so the biggest thing for me was like, I feel bad to the followers that are out there unbeknowingly dealing with this person and whatever they want to do. Like it's like they stole your car and they're driving around the neighborhood with your license plate on it,
and driving like an asshole through the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And hey, Casey's driving all over the place like a tool, but it's not a good feeling. Obviously, nobody wants to be hacked, but like to me, the biggest, most disappointing part of it is I can't get it back. Like I'm working so hard to get this back. Like, well, yeah. So
you had some steps, right?
Yeah. So Instagram does offer a very, very convoluted rabbit hole of ways to get to the point where you can try to get your account back. And that is really the most concise way to say it. It's you try to log in. At first, they had the username changed and they had the password changed. And when I would try to access it, they wouldn't even let me put in that information. It would just say Reeves Makes does not exist. Is not an account. And I'm like, well, but it is. It's just been changed. So eventually, I don't know if the person that had the account or whatever changed it back, because when I would go into immediately when I was trying to access it, they give you the ghosted email and the ghosted cell phone. So like the first digits, last digits match which your accounts are. Those were all different. So it was their emails, their cell phone numbers. So when I would try another way and like get the code, it was just sending them the code and they're saying, oh, you're trying to access your account. It was prompting them to see that you're trying to get it back. Right. And probably laughing at me. So, but eventually now when I've tried to log into it last week, it now has credentials that meet my email and cell phone number. So I'm like, okay, let's see what this does. I tried another way, and then it gives you a 6-digit code to enter, which immediately went to my email. I I denied the first one because I'm like, I'm going to make sure this is legit. I tried it again and I immediately got another message to my email. And I'm like, I'm on my Instagram. I completely, again, wiped out everything on my phone, logged out of everything, went back and I did the same thing again. I got the 6-digit code immediately on my email. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm like, I've got to be prepared for something to happen. I can't just sit here idly by and wait for, nothing to happen. So I put the code in and it says the password you have entered is incorrect. Try another way. I clicked try another way again, and it takes you to an 8-digit code, which is your 2-factor authentication code. If you set up your 2-factor, you get like that string of codes, you string capture.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Those had been
recovery codes.
The recovery codes,
yep.
exactly.
Yeah, not 2-factor recovery.
Yeah. So the recovery codes were different. So they either made their own codes for the account somehow, or my codes didn't work. So I couldn't gain access to it that way. So then it says having trouble logging in, and you click this down at the bottom and it goes to, do you have a picture of yourself on your account? And I said yes. And then it immediately goes to like a selfie window, and you put in an email address that is the email associated to the account. And then you look to the sides, and it basically gives you green check marks as you're doing it. It's like setting your thumbprint on your phone.
Okay.
When you're trying to roll your thumb
or your
around.
Face ID.
Yeah,
this is
Face
good
ID.
information because we don't hear about this.
Yeah,
I've
never heard of this.
Yeah.
It's like layers deep in trying to get into your account, and
that's good. It should be.
Right.
I mean, they should just tell, like, you should be able to access this part first, but I mean, it should be hard to get this deep without being you, without being you.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be so hard to find this, but yeah.
But here's the best part though. So you do all that, and then it says it will take 3 to 4 days. Somebody will take a look at this. It'll take 3 to 4 days, and then they'll get back to you. It comes back denied. And I can read you because I've tried it now for like 7 times, and I will read this verbatim because I just got the email back saying that your information couldn't be confirmed. We weren't able to confirm your identity from the videos you submitted. You can submit a new video and we will review it again. And then it's not even a click link to post the next video. It's a learn more, which takes you to the
it's
canned
clearly
response.
not an actual person that's
it's AI
reviewing these. Yeah, it's AI.
100%.
So, and I've did a deep dive on YouTube, and a lot of people said like it takes you several times to get to the point. Like try it in your car, try it in your living room, try it with different lighting, try it with like one girl was like she did her account got hacked and she did a video on it, and she said it took her like 8 times, and she even one of the times put on like the same shirt she had in her last post and like did her hair and makeup the same way, and it still denied her. Like her last post on her account, it's like the same exact person in the picture, and they denied her account. So
that's so frustrating.
So I talked to another maker who just actually did a really good YouTube video on his account. Now it's not the exact same scenario. He wasn't hacked. He was basically blocked by Instagram for some bug in the system.
This is Eric?
But
Eric.
Yeah, Eric Spencer.
Yeah.
So
but he got lucky. He got a Facebook employee.
Well, and that's the, I was telling you guys in the pre-show about the nuggets. So I did my video on YouTube yesterday, and then I had a guy actually through Facebook, because I posted some stuff on my YouTube video on my Facebook reels and stories, reached out and said, I've been following you for a long time. I actually know somebody that can help you out. And so
that's awesome.
That's awesome, but it's terrible that's the
that's
thing
the
that
level you've got to go to.
Yeah,
you got to know somebody.
Like,
what the hell?
Like I was just fortunate that this guy saw my story yesterday when it was on air and reached out to me and shot. He could have just been like, "Oh, that sucks," or not even watch my story. How many of us flip through stories and don't pay attention to what's really being advertised? So for him to reach out, and so then at first I'm like, "Okay, is this guy authentic?" So it's like
I just sent you a 6-digit code.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
that shouldn't be funny, but
yeah, but that's the sad part, like. So I'm like, I got like this reservation to talk with this person. So I was DMing with him, and then I had a back and forth with him for a while. I checked out his, I creeped him on Facebook. I tapped his profile and took a look at it, and then he shot me a message saying that he knows somebody that can basically within a week get this account back. But there's a layer of stuff they've got to go through, and the biggest thing, and this might help the viewers and the listeners with the podcast here, that they want an email that is not on Meta of any way, shape, or form. So if you have an auxiliary email, so just maybe your personal one, if it's not on Meta. So I have a third one that I only use for career hunting. So like when I was doing like headhunting work and doing a lot of stuff with
CaseyNeedJobby@gmail.com.
Yes, pay Casey money. Yeah, exactly. So and that's exactly it. It's not tied to Meta in any way, shape, or form. Right. That's how this person is going to work on this for me. So I don't know anymore other than this person does have my information. They have the email. They verified the email that they're going to be dealing with me on it through, but I cannot give out. And I don't even know this. I call it the helper. I don't even know their information, so I can't even say like to somebody, like if somebody else were to get hacked, and this is the position that Eric Spenceley's in, is he got helped by somebody, but you cannot share that information. It's like these ghost people that can just miraculously appear and help you out.
That's so crazy that's what you got to do though.
What an absolutely
and
bogus
Eric
system.
even he went to Meta, he paid for ads to the tier that you can get actual support.
Yeah.
And he was not getting help. They're basically giving him like blanket answers.
He actually got one level deeper than so I did the selfie video. After the first selfie failed, I tried another one. That one failed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to say I don't have any pictures of myself, because really I don't have a bunch of like fanboy shots of myself on my page. Like it's all elbows down. I'm working on something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, that's the nature of what we do as
right. We're not
as a group
physical influencer by facial, whatever. So I'm like, I'm going to say I don't have a picture of myself on my account and see what that realm looks like. And so what they then send you is a questionnaire. And that questionnaire is via your email that is attributed to the account. And the first question is, give us the information as to what happened and when did your account get hacked? And so fill that all out. Second one was, what is the password and the phone number attributed to the account? Which I'm like hesitant, but I'm like, again, at this point, what's the difference? So I filled that out. Then I think it was, how long have you been on platform? And what was the other part of that question? I want to say it was like, how long have you been on platform? And then there's like a fourth part of the question too that I don't exactly remember, but basically state like a proof that that the account is yours. Like, again, it's very convoluted and hard to fake some of that stuff. Like you have to basically say like, I do woodworking. This is what's in my bio. I've had this account for 6 years. I've had 75,000 followers.
Sounds like you're working with a human and not AI now, though. I mean, that's the next step, unfortunately. Because I mean, someone has to visually see that.
Human. Yeah.
And again, so then it says give it 3 to 4 days for review, and then somebody will be in touch with you with support. But I haven't heard anything back. So in the meantime, I've just been doing the video thing, and it's been rejected every single time.
What blows my mind is this is just absolute bullcrap. Like this. It boggles my mind as someone that works in technology. You go into the app, you can actually look at all your login locations. Yeah. If they see a password was changed, username, everything else, and then suddenly you stop logging in wherever,
it's a clear pattern.
And now you're in wherever, New Mexico, out of nowhere.
Right.
Like there's clearly something there. It's just they don't give.
You'd think there'd be red flags or something going off.
Any of this, so they just put you through an automated thing, because to them, you losing your account doesn't really matter. Even if it was somebody with 500,000 followers losing their account, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean that's what it feels like. It feels like, oh well, he'll just make a new account and we'll have more people on platform.
Bunch of dirtbags.
Like to me, like your point was, they don't care. And that's what it feels like. It's like
there is no customer support.
You're irrelevant. And to me, like, how many times on our phone, like you're trying to log into something on a new computer, and it's like, are you trying to log in from this location? Like, are you near Albuquerque, New Mexico? Like, no, I'm not. I'm in Illinois. Like, but I didn't get any of that when this happened. Like, so it's like sometimes you get these layers deep of security, and other times it's like, boom, it's gone. And it's like, what the hell kind of code did they write in that link to just absorb it that quick?
Insanity.
And I think about like, yeah, that's the scary part. I'm usually really vigilant about my accounts and what I do on my phone, and the lazy evening, just chilling and hanging out, and I just tap the notification to expand it, and I
Just
opened
one tiny slip up.
It was gone. It was immediately gone. And then like the worst part too is this guy is now like trying to text me and get this email account. Like I have strings and strings and strings of texts. And then he even made a Gmail account with Instagram support in the title of the Gmail. And he's like, here, I can pull it up quick. I'll read it.
It's honestly block that account, block that text, whatever, however he's messaging you. Just block him. Completely block him.
Really,
you don't need to be getting any information with him.
Yeah, well, and so basically he said, hello, you were logged out from your Instagram account, ? And I said, yes, account hacked. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to be really short and sweet with this guy and see where this goes. And he goes, we're here to help you get back into your Instagram account. And I said, what are the steps? And he goes, send us recovery email for your account. I'm like, okay, boom, you're whatever, done. Like, I'm not going to deal with this. Like, because to me, even if that's legitimate Instagram, they're not
never ask for your password.
They'll
never ask for your password.
And the account Gmail is like Instagram.
Yeah,
help,
Instagram
000.
wouldn't be sending emails from a Gmail account.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And to my cell phone number,
Right.
like I'd be getting an email notification like I get with everything else.
Such trash people.
And it's
the
like
worst people out there.
So like to me, like this guy has this like nugget in his hand, but he wants the whole thing. Like he wants, to me, I think he ultimately wants my Google or my Gmail.
Oh yeah.
For
sure.
And you've changed that account, like changed the password on that.
I blew up the password on that
recovery email, all that stuff. Yep.
Yeah. So
just goes to show everyone, like, go through all your important stuff, all your important accounts, and just change those passwords. And I know all of you guys, like, again, falling back on my IT stuff. I know all of you have opened up Keychain or Gmail or gotten an email or something from Gmail saying like, several of your saved passwords have been part of an account or data breach or whatever, and we all ignore it.
Uber.
Because I do.
Uber.
Like, go through that once in a while. If you're logged into Chrome and it's saying you have compromised passwords, just take a look at them. If it's some like old Twitter account, whatever, something you don't care about, it's fine. But stay on top of this stuff, you guys, because this could literally ruin your entire life if they get the right info.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Well,
Right,
Casey,
gents.
that's horrible, man. We're very
awful.
Just keep us posted. I mean, keep us posted individually, like personally.
And we're gonna
Let us
keep
know what's going on. We'll share it.
trying to send you new followers for sure. I mean,
Well, I think you're
deserve
gonna
it.
get your account back. I
It
feel
does
you're
sound
probably
like
2
you
weeks
might
out.
get your account back. I mean,
I'm very
you
hopeful.
Followed all the right steps for sure.
The question is what do I do with the new account? Do I like make it into like a CNC channel or something?
Nah, keep it as a backup,
keep it as a
bro.
backup.
Yeah. Double post.
Tag that account in every post you do.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's a terrible idea. All right. Well, anyway, Casey, thank you for coming on the show.
Yep.
Thank you for that really in-depth breakdown. That's scary stuff, man. Like really scary stuff. So, you'll get it back. I'm confident you'll get it back.
But in the meantime, obviously, if you followed Casey's original account, make sure to go follow his new account.
And Pete
in
will have
case
that.
he doesn't get it back.
It's the new
We'll
one
have
is
that in the
tagged in the show
descriptions.
notes.
Yeah, everything will be there. So go give Casey some love. He's a good dude. Known Casey for a long time on Instagram, and he's just a solid guy. So go check him out. Give him some love. Help him rebuild for right now. And when his other account's back, follow that account too.
And in the meantime, check out his YouTube. Go look at his face. Real handsome
Casey's
face.
got a great
There.
YouTube,
I've got more stuff in the YouTube wheelhouse coming up here. So
He has a real unverifiable face. It's very distinguished.
I can melt into a crowd.
He's every man. No, anyway, big thanks to our patrons. Big thanks to our sponsor. Big thanks to Casey. This show will be live on Sunday. It's Thursday now. Patrons, you'll see it first. Big thanks to you guys. We'll be back next week with Michael Ohlms joining us. I believe that is correct. I'll have to check the calendar. Hopefully I'm correct. Dan, if I'm wrong, edit your voice saying the correct name into the edit. We will talk to you guys very soon. Say Michael.
I was going to say April Wilkerson or something.
April Wilkerson. Say like a robot,
afford her.
Yeah.
We've asked her to be on. She's straight up told us no.
She said, "Get away from me, hobo." I was like, okay.
Shot Dan with a squirt gun full of acid. It was horrible. Anyway,
that explains all this.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
Of you.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Big thanks to all you. Thank you for listening. Have a good
Maybe
week.
Next week.
Bye.
We can talk about Maker Camp, and we're going to be there. I think Michael Ohlms is going to be there too. He was there last year. Will be there.
So. Yeah, he will. We got a bunch of stuff
Tune
to talk
in
about for that.
Bye
bye.
I love y'all. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Love you long time.
Kill it.